Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Well, today we're tackling a fascinating figure in the world of AI and education, Dr. Yogesh Malhotra. And you guys sent in an awesome mix of sources.
Yeah, we got his bio, some research papers.
Even some seriously thought-provoking quotes.
This is going to be a good one.
It is, it is. So, to kick things off, who is Dr. Malhotra?
Well, he's got an incredible resume. Over 20 years teaching at some pretty prestigious universities.
We're talking MIT, Princeton?
Exactly. He's a real pioneer in knowledge management and digital innovation.
It's true. I mean, the guy's an expert across a ton of fields. AI and machine learning,
Cybersecurity.
finance, even defense.
You name it.
He brings such a multidisciplinary perspective to everything he does.
And it's not all just theory with him either. Dr. Malhotra has actually built things.
He's a builder. What kind of things has he built?
Well, he founded amexchange.com and brinT.com.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these are platforms that are actually putting his ideas into practice.
He's walking the walk. And, one of the things that really grabbed my attention was his concept of double loop learning for AI.
Right.
This is a pretty powerful idea.
It is. Dr. Malhotra argues that most AI today, it's limited to single-loop learning.
Single loop.
It gets feedback and adjusts its actions, but it never really questions the underlying goal.
Or even the assumptions.
Yeah, the assumptions behind that goal. He says that true AI needs to be able to do more. It needs double-loop learning.
So it's not just about getting better at achieving a certain goal.
Right.
It's about being able to take a step back.
And say, hey, is this even the right goal in the first place?
Exactly.
Like the difference between just memorizing a formula
Versus
understanding the principles behind it.
Oh, so you can apply it to new situations.
Exactly. That's the kind of flexibility Dr. Malhotra wants to see in AI.
I see what you mean. Okay, so get ready for this, because he takes this idea even further. He starts talking about building quantum minds for AI.
Quantum minds.
Quantum minds.
It is a fascinating concept.
Yeah.
He sees a connection between the way quantum mechanics works and how AI could make decisions.
Whoa.
It's not just about real-time feedback. It's also about what he calls feed-forward loops.
Feed forward.
Anticipating changes before they even happen.
I think I need an example for that one. What would a quantum mind look like in a real AI?
Okay, imagine an AI-powered education platform. But instead of just delivering content and grading quizzes, it's constantly analyzing everything in real time.
Okay.
It's seeing how students are interacting, what they're struggling with. And it can even predict what they'll need to learn next.
Basically.
Based on those patterns.
Well, it's like a super personalized tutor for each student.
Yeah, but a tutor that is constantly evolving
Ugh.
and getting smarter.
Wow, that's a pretty powerful image. It's not just reacting to what's happening right now. It's using all that data to anticipate challenges and adjust the learning path for each student.
Exactly.
I like it. It's clear that Dr. Malhotra is really passionate about using AI to transform education.
Yeah, and I mean, who wouldn't be excited about the possibility of truly personalized learning?
I know, I would.
Right. And for him, it's not just about making education more efficient. It's about making it more engaging and effective.
So that everybody can reach their full potential.
Exactly.
And I know he's been developing some innovative AI tools and platforms to do just that. One of the sources mentioned Lumen Circles. What are those?
Lumen Circles are faculty development programs.
Okay.
They focus on how to integrate generative AI into teaching.
Generative AI, okay.
Yeah, and it's all about fostering collaboration and innovation.
Which fits right in with his vision.
Exactly.
So he's not just coming up with these amazing ideas. He's actively working to train educators to make them a reality.
He is. He's a doer.
He's a builder.
That's Dr. Malhotra.
It's really refreshing to see someone using AI not just to automate things, but to actually enhance human capabilities.
I agree. It's a really different approach.
Yeah, it really challenges that whole narrative about AI replacing humans.
Definitely. Dr. Malhotra believes that AI should free us up.
Free us up to do what?
To focus on the things that we as humans do best.
Okay.
Creativity, critical thinking.
Problem solving.
Exactly.
And he's put this into practice in some pretty cool ways. I was reading about his AI-powered teaching own systems.
Oh, yeah.
AI quiz generators.
Even AI syllabus builders.
Syllabus builders. That's wild.
Right.
But it makes sense. It's like taking all that tedious stuff off of educators' plates.
Exactly. It frees them up to focus on the more human aspects of teaching.
I like it. And there's another thing he's been using AI for that I found really interesting. He's actually using it to facilitate appreciative inquiry.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that collaborative strength-based approach we talked about?
Yeah, it seems almost counterintuitive.
Right. It's like something so human-centered. How do you even bring AI into that?
Well, imagine an AI that can analyze all the data from class discussions,
Student feedback.
performance results.
Okay.
It can pinpoint areas of strength.
Maybe even suggest solutions or areas for improvement.
Exactly.
It's like having a superpowered research assistant
I like that.
for both students and educators.
And it's not just about crunching numbers either. This AI could connect people and ideas.
Oh, to create a more collaborative learning environment.
Precisely.
So it's really boosting that human connection that makes learning so meaningful.
It is. It's a really holistic approach.
I'm impressed. I mean, he's not just automating tasks. He's actually amplifying the power of human interaction.
Yeah, his focus is always on people.
And in one of the articles you sent, he talked about closing the teaching, learning, knowing, doing loop.
Oh, yeah. He sees that as a continuous process.
But not just a straight line.
Exactly. And AI can really accelerate that whole cycle.
How so?
Think about AI systems that personalize learning based on real-time feedback
Okay.
or provide custom support and resources.
Even connect students with mentors to help them apply what they've learned.
Yeah, it's like having a personalized learning ecosystem
Always adapting.
and helping you grow.
I like that, personalized learning ecosystems.
It's a pretty powerful idea.
Now, you mentioned that Dr. Malhotra also works in cybersecurity and defense.
Yeah,
That seems like a pretty big jump from education.
you'd think so, but there are actually some interesting connections.
Okay, like what?
It's all about building systems that are resilient.
And adaptable.
Right. He sees a link between securing digital networks and preparing students for the future.
So it's not just about teaching technical skills,
No, it's about fostering adaptability, critical thinking.
problem solving.
Exactly. Skills that are essential for navigating a rapidly changing world.
A world that's increasingly shaped by technology.
And those skills will only become more vital as AI continues to evolve.
So we need to prepare students for that future.
Absolutely.
What about you? What's been standing out to you the most about Dr. Malhotra's work?
I think his optimism about the future of AI in education is really infectious.
Yeah.
He truly believes that this technology can make learning more democratic, more personalized.
And ultimately help us all become lifelong learners.
Exactly. But he's not naive about the challenges.
He's not.
Remember that statement he made? Consciousness is not a computation.
Yes. I was hoping we'd get to that. What do you think he meant by that in the context of AI?
Well, to me, it suggests that there's something unique about human consciousness.
Okay.
Something that we can't just replicate by building bigger and faster algorithms.
So it's not just a matter of processing power.
Right.
I see. Yeah, it makes you wonder if AI can ever truly understand things like creativity,
Intuition.
emotional intelligence.
Exactly.
And that brings us back to his emphasis on human judgment.
We can't just hand over control to the machines,
We need to be thoughtful about how we integrate AI into our lives.
especially in education.
You know, something else I found fascinating about Dr. Malhotra is his background.
Oh, yeah.
He actually started out as a pioneer in knowledge management.
Right. Long before AI became the buzzword it is today,
It's true. He founded Brint.com.
which was one of the first online knowledge-sharing platforms.
Way back in the early days of the internet.
He was ahead of his time.
He was. And it seems like that experience really shaped his vision for how technology can connect people and ideas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He saw the potential of the internet to bring people together from all over the world.
And he's carried that vision into his work with AI.
Definitely.
It's clear that he's not just a theorist, he's a builder.
Always pushing the boundaries.
And he's had a global impact, too. I read that he's advised organizations like the United Nations and the U.S. Department of Defense on knowledge management and digital innovation.
That's impressive. And on top of all that, he's incredibly generous with his knowledge.
I know he's still actively involved in those Lumen circles.
Mentoring educators on using AI.
He's walking the walk. I think that's one of the things that makes his work so impactful. He's not just talking about these ideas. He's building tools, he's training people, he's making it all happen.
He's a true innovator.
And I'm also struck by how he constantly challenges the status quo. There's a quote from him that really stood out to me. He said, "Obsolete what you know before others obsolete it."
Wow, that's powerful.
Right. It speaks to this idea of continuous learning.
And the need to always be adapting.
Like questioning your assumptions.
That's a really crucial mindset in today's world.
It is, especially as we're doing this deep dive. We're constantly learning and adapting as we explore all these new ideas.
That's what makes it so engaging. We're not just passively absorbing information.
We're actively making connections, building our own understanding.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what does all this mean for you, dear listener? Why should you care about Dr. Malhotra's work?
Well, whether you're a student, an educator, a parent,
Or just someone who's curious about the future?
these are questions worth considering.
Yeah.
How will AI shape the way we learn and teach?
How will it shape how we think?
What are the potential benefits and risks?
And how can we make sure that AI is used to empower people?
Not to replace them.
These are big questions and there aren't any easy answers.
Yeah. But by having these conversations,
By exploring different perspectives,
by staying
we
curious.
can navigate this exciting and complex landscape together.
Exactly.
And I think Dr. Malhotra would wholeheartedly agree. He's such a strong advocate for human-centered AI.
He believes that collaboration is key to creating a future where technology enhances our lives.
And there's one last quote from him that I think perfectly sums up his perspective. He said, "Data is profoundly dumb."
Ooh, I like that one.
Right. He believes that it's up to us as humans to find the meaning in the data and to use those insights to transform our world.
Which brings us perfectly to the final part of our deep dive.
Where we'll explore how Dr. Malhotra is using AI to bridge that gap between theory and practice.
Especially in education.
So stay tuned. It's funny, we always hear about AI coming for our jobs,
Yeah.
automating everything.
Yeah.
But Dr. Malhotra seems to have a very different view.
Oh, he does.
He sees AI as a way to empower people.
To make us better.
Yeah, not to replace us.
Yeah.
And he's not just talking about it, he's actually building the tools. Remember those AI teaching assistants we talked about?
Yeah.
AI quiz generators, syllabus builders.
Yeah, syllabus builders.
Yeah, like he wants to streamline everything.
It's about freeing up educators.
Giving them more time to focus on the things that really matter.
Yeah, the human element.
Exactly. And he's even found a way to bring AI into appreciative inquiry.
Appreciative inquiry.
Yeah, remember that collaborative, strength-based approach.
Oh, right.
It still seems kind of counterintuitive to me.
Don't make you wonder.
Like, how could AI possibly enhance something so human-centered?
Right.
Give me an example.
Well, imagine an AI that can analyze all that data.
From class discussions,
Student feedback.
performance results.
Exactly. And then it can use that data to identify patterns,
Okay.
highlight strengths.
Maybe even suggest solutions or areas for improvement.
Exactly.
It's like having a super smart research assistant,
Yeah. For both students and educators.
helping them to see things they might have missed.
Absolutely.
And it's not just about analyzing information.
Right.
It's about connecting people and ideas,
Fostering that sense of collaboration.
making the learning environment more dynamic.
He's really committed to making education more meaningful for everyone.
He is. And there's that idea he talks about in one of his papers.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
The teaching, learning, knowing, doing loop.
Oh, right. That continuous process.
Not just a straight line.
He believes that AI can really accelerate that cycle.
How so?
Well, think about AI systems that personalize learning paths based on real-time feedback,
Okay.
or provide custom support, connect students with mentors.
It's almost like he's envisioning this dynamic ecosystem for learning
Yeah.
that's constantly adapting and responding to the needs of each student.
That's the vision.
I like it. It's exciting. So we've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
explored some pretty fascinating ideas. As we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from all of this?
I think the biggest takeaway is that the future of AI, it's not predetermined.
Okay.
We have the power to shape how this technology evolves.
So it's not something that just happens to us.
Exactly. And Dr. Malhotra's work shows us that we can use AI for good,
To enhance our capabilities, not replace them.
to foster collaboration, create a more equitable world.
That's inspiring. And if you're feeling inspired, we encourage you to learn more about Dr. Malhotra's work.
You can find links to his website and publications in the show notes.
And remember that the journey of learning never really ends.
That's the beauty of it.
So stay curious, keep asking questions, and explore all the possibilities that the future holds. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.